In this week's episode of Bake Across Europe, we're going to travel to Poland. I'm going to show you how to make a Polish cake called Polish Carpathian Mountain Cake, or Karpatka in Polish. It's 2 layers of choux pastry with a center layer of a vanilla pastry cream. And it actually tastes, in my opinion, like a really big cream puff. It's very good. It's named after the choux pastry, which on top of the cake looks like a mountain range where it's puffed up in the center, especially when it's dusted with powdered sugar to look like snow-capped mountains. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make this Polish Carpathian mountain cake. You will need 120 grams of all-purpose flour, 327 milliliters or 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 5 eggs, and 113 grams or 4 ounces of unsalted butter. Now add the water and butter into a small saucepan and bring to a simmer. Add the flour and stir vigorously to bring to a smooth dough. With a spatula, you'll want to bring the dough to the sides of the pan to release any lumps of flour that may be in there, and then fold it back over again and repeat the process until your dough is completely smooth. Once the dough is smooth, continue to cook for a couple of minutes to let some of the moisture in the dough evaporate. You can do this next step by hand, or you can add your hot dough to a standing mixer with the whisk attachment. Pulse the dough several times to release steam and help the dough to cool down before adding the eggs. You don't want the dough to be too hot when adding the eggs, or the eggs will scramble. Adding a total of 5 eggs, add in each egg one at a time, beating to fully combine before adding the next one. I only show 3 eggs being added in the video, but there are 5 in total. This is the consistency you're looking for. Now divide the dough evenly between 2 9x13 metal baking pans. I recommend metal here. I tried this recipe before filming with glass baking dishes and I could not get the choux pastry to rise. Using a silicone spatula, spread out the dough evenly throughout the pan. This will take a little bit of patience since it's a bit sticky. In a 200 degrees Celsius or 392 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven, bake for 25 minutes. You'll want the pastries to be brown, puffed up, and dry. As the name of the pastry indicates, these are supposed to look like a mountain range. Let the pastries cool completely in the pan. Meanwhile, for the pastry cream, you'll need 950 milliliters or 4 cups of whole milk, 200 grams or 1 cup of granulated sugar, 5 tablespoons each of all-purpose flour and cornstarch, 5 egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 227 grams or 8 ounces of unsalted butter. In a small bowl, whisk together the egg yolks, 1 cup of milk, and the flour and cornstarch. If any lumps remain after whisking in the flour and cornstarch, you can pass the mixture through a sieve to strain out any lumps. Combine the remaining milk and the granulated sugar on the stove and bring to a light boil, then reduce the heat. While whisking vigorously, add in 1 cup of the hot milk into the egg yolk mixture to temper the egg yolks. While continuously whisking, slowly pour in the tempered egg yolk mixture into the pot. Let it cook over medium heat while continuously whisking. The pastry cream will get thicker and thicker, and you're looking for the consistency of vanilla pudding. You want it to get to the stage where it's bubbling and burping. Once it gets to this stage, let it cook for a minute or 2. Then take off the heat and stir in the vanilla. Pour the finished pastry cream into a shallow dish and then cover with plastic wrap. You'll want the plastic wrap to directly touch the pastry cream so that it doesn't form a skin. Let the pastry cream come to room temperature. It needs to be at room temperature for the next step to work properly. Beat the room temperature butter into the pastry cream until it reaches this consistency. Pour the cream into one of the pastry shells. Spread out the cream evenly. Before placing the top pastry over the rest of the cake, fill in any spots where the pastry rose so that there aren't any gaps when cutting the cake. Cover and refrigerate for at least 2 hours, preferably more, in order to let the pastry cream firm up to make it easier for slicing. After refrigerating, remove from the pan. Sprinkle with powdered sugar to look like snow-capped mountains.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for departure, please check to see that your seatbelts are securely fastened.
Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Let me know if you give it a try. And a thank you and a shout out to Ms. S, one of my followers who actually requested that I make this cake. So as always, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see in a future video and I may just make it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time.